Opinion: Caitlin Clark owes no apologies for recognizing white privilege. It's been a bad couple of days for the racists and bigots who thought Caitlin Clark was one of them. First, Clark said she recognizes there is an element of white privilege to her stardom, that the black women who laid the foundation for this current explosion in interest in women's sports were never afforded a spotlight as bright and intense as the one that shines on her. Then, when conservative crank Megyn Kelly criticized her for saying that, Clark doubled down. "I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career. But also, I grew up a fan of this league from a very young age," Clark said Wednesday when asked about Kelly's comments. "From NFL plays to college sports scores, all the top sports news you need to know every day. My favorite player was Maya Moore. I know what this league was about for those unaware. Moore was transcendent when she was running roughshod over the WNBA, leading the Minnesota Lynx to 4 titles in 7 years and winning MVP honors in both the regular season, 2014, and WNBA Finals, 2013. Add in her Olympic gold medals and her titles and Player of the Year honors at UConn, and she's quite possibly the best there's ever been." But Moore's impact went beyond the court as a cornerstone of the WNBA's social justice efforts. She and the Lynx were among the first athletes to protest the racist policing of black and brown people, and she retired early to work on reversing the wrongful conviction of the man who is now her husband. Clark has talked often of the influence Moore had on her, and it is clear she didn't just mean on the court. Expand article logo. Continue reading. "Like I said, the WNBA has only been around 25+ years. I know there's been so many amazing black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them I think is very important. That's something I'm very aware of," Clark told Maria Taylor during an interview at the A Year in Time event. Clark was the magazine's Athlete of the Year. Few athletes, especially at a young age, can be as thoughtful or as direct as LeBron James and the U.S. women's national soccer team in calling out hate and the marginalization of minorities. That seemed during the season to include Clark, whose criticism of the racism and homophobia spewed at other WNBA players by some people claiming to be her fans often came only when she was asked directly about it. But if those lowlifes, like the woman who wrote Clark's number on the paper talons she wore to a playoff game to mock black players, thought they had Clark's tacit approval, they are now seeing just how wrong they are. So too, those who thought Clark was too naive to understand why what was being done and said in her name was so problematic. She saw it. All of it. And she wants no part of it. "I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege," Clark told Time in the Player of the Year story. "A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important."